Hello, welcome to Stormhaven. I'm Nicola.
Mark.
We got lots happening this fortnight, so we're doing some work up in the shack now that Charlotte's moved out. We have taken delivery of 10 fruit trees. We've also got 4 olives to get into the garden. What else are we going to do?
Got a jigsaw puzzle out. Oh, that doesn't count, does it?
No, not really.
The weekend washing.
We got roses to spray.
Washing up in the kitchen. We got vacuum. We got, wrong list.
We'll go round and we'll take you for a quick trip around the rose garden too, so you can see how they're getting on. We've had some
on the tulips and the daffies.
And the hyacinths.
And the front garden bed would be good too, because that's going along really well. Our Easter project.
Yep. So there's lots happening this fortnight. Stay tuned and keep watching.
So we're in the Wandai Historical and Heritage Museum today, and we came over for the dedication of Kevin Dixon. Kev recently passed, which was a very sad day, and he was making this diorama of the town, and it was super impressive.
I'm so sorry.
So what do we got over here? We got our jonquils.
Yes.
And there are a couple of on sale daff bulbs from Bunnings.
Miniatures.
So they're miniatures, so they had already flowered by the time we bought them. So they were $5 a pot. We got a swag of bulbs in them, so we'll just let them die back and hopefully get some bulbs for next year, some more jonquils and daffies. There's one of the yellow ones he's passed. We've got to nip his head off. Now, what did you say these little purple ones are? Grape hyacinths.
Yes. Sparaxis.
Sparaxis. And we've got, what else we got in here? So we've got the ranunculus there. I think there's some freesias in there.
Possibly.
Yeah. Now the tulips, this is last year's bulbs, and we did have a bad year with our tulips. And you can see they just have a couple in the middle going all right.
You got a couple of new ones.
Yeah, and they're the middle ones, but yeah, they've just, hopefully they've just we ended up with a lot of little tiny bulbs, like they separated, and yeah, just didn't take so good this year. So I don't know whether it was just a legacy from last year's struggles, or they just having some degree of difficulty with the soil. It was potting mix. So we bought these this year in a container with 4.
In a flat.
In a flat container with
There were 4 cells, but there's more than 4 tulips.
Yeah, I'm just saying they'd already shot, so they'd already started to grow.
They were already up. We
So
just transferred them.
Repotted them, so we'll see what they do, and some more jonquils and little mini daffs. We got a whole range of different daffs and things. So we had a really good big show last year in flowers. So I'm just wondering if, because it was such a big year last year, whether they'll spend a bit of time concentrating on their own well-being and bulbs. But anyway, live and learn each year as you go along, and each year is a bit different. And their little green bushes are healthy, so we'll just see. But the little, yeah, I did take a photo of that. There, Nicholas, Charlotte gave you those 4 bulbs as a Mother's Day gift, so we put them in the little pot. So they're new bulbs this year, but they're very pretty purple tulips.
Oh, would you like to get the azalea as well?
Where's the azalea? The pink one.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we've got the olives that we're going to plant out.
There's our Christmas tree.
They are either ginger or
Possibly ginger, but it could be turmeric.
could be turmeric as well. So
There's turmeric in the potato bag growing.
we thought we had taken it all out last year, but these 2 came back by themselves. Or actually, no, we had taken them out. That's right, and they've been left on the laundry bench, and they sort of were sad and pathetic looking. So we put them back in. So they've grown, but they've not done huge amounts. But anyway, we'll see. The Hoya is really struggling, so we've tried it in a hanging pot, we've tried it in a couple of different spots, but yeah, I'm just not confident that we're got the Hoya mix right. So this one?
Yeah.
What's this one?
So that's an azalea. I
An
bought
azalea.
that. An azalea. I bought that at Woolworths 2 years ago. It was looking really sad and bedraggled, and it's come back really well.
The perennial mint that dies and comes back. A couple of ferns, and that's just here in the nursery. The other bit we've got is under the house. I took a whole heap of begonia cuttings from Mum's last year, and we'll do them on their own, and they've all gone gangbusters.
And the hydrangea.
And the hydrangea, so we've got to cut, repot them into their new homes. So we're just grabbing a cup of coffee, and we've been working on the shack. Oop. Oh, can't see your picture.
Oh, that's hot.
One of, yeah, best sort of coffee. And what are we doing? We just bogged up the winter.
We did that yesterday. I've sanded it.
It's rags, motorsport, rough as guts. No, sanded this morning. So we'll paint the windowsill. We've got to paint all the bits around the edges. The purple's come up quite nice. And then start thinking about moving the table up.
Which will be great, and putting together the cupboards, and I got boxes of stuff to go up there, so that'll be really good to get it all out of my office.
Just over an hour over our start time. Well, actually more than an hour over our start time, because we had to go
Retrieve
a naughty bull from next door who was happily munching on grass.
And how come he can't just be in that paddock?
When he wants to be, yes. So it took a bit to get him back. Well, actually, he comes back
really well.
Yeah.
He's very, as Mark said, he's very driven by food and his stomach.
Ignored me while I fed Daisy, and then when his mummy came out, he went, "Mummy, mummy."
He doesn't,
where's
but
my
he
hay?
came straight out.
Where's
like,
my hay?
Trotted straight back into the paddock, and
When he saw you with hay,
yeah,
Mummy.
he knows. Well, I feed him morning and night most days,
Yeah,
so
he can talk now. Mummy, that's what he says. Anyway,
good day.
we'll keep going.
It's Saturday afternoon. We took a bit longer than we planned on the floors. Not quite finished, but almost there on the floors. We still need to paint tomorrow and finish the floors off. So now what we're doing, we're digging holes, and it's like rock. Actually, it is rock, and there's lots of rock. But anyway, so we've got 2 more holes to go in up here. So Mark's just gone to get the fruit trees for me. And because we have an errant critter of some description, I've got bamboo stakes, I've got tree guards. I also brought the small auger, and I'm going to fix those 2 and that one there very briefly to secure them, because at the moment the bags aren't tight enough, and so they keep falling down on the plant. So as you can see, it's getting quite dark. It's also a bit sort of chilly, but we did get the trees in, all 10 of them. We didn't do the 4 olives. We actually literally ran out of time. But the great thing is you can actually see they've all been watered in. If we have a reasonably cool period, that'll be really good. It'll give them time to acclimatise to their new homes. So I'm back out in the orchard again, and today my job is to spray all of these fruits to repel the bugs. Now, our experience has always shown us that if we don't get in and get them done early, we lose all our fruit because the flies sting them. So we may want to be organic and pesticide free, but we're not. So nearest we can get is the beta bug from Rich Grow, which is supposed to be natural. So we'll see. Anyway, that's that job done. By the way, I've also tip pruned all the new plants. So they've all been done. Out here, I've just come round and had a look. Look at that. The first leaves on the cherry tree. So the mini royal is going really well. So the mini royal now has a little friend called Stella, which should cross-pollinate them. So we should actually maybe get a couple of cherries this year. That'd be nice. So this is actually inside the shack. Now, Charlotte had actually put on a single coat of paint, but as you can see, we've got a fair bit of work to do. So the ceilings need to be repainted. We need to do all the edging. We've taken the window curtains down. We've got I've got some of those stick-up paper blinds coming because I'm trying to keep this room as light and airy as I can. But look at this. Now, we had talked about taking the skirtings down, but when we looked at it and they're all moulded and we're absolute beginners. So what we've decided to do is we're actually going to put quad down over the top, and that will hide the multitude of sins. But we actually have our spacers down because we're being good. And even though we've actually given this floor a vacuum, we're going to give it another hit now because particularly up this end, we've pulled the door off. So that door doesn't fit. It's going. When Charlotte painted, she painted over the light. So I'm going to give that a clean up in a few minutes. So that's done. There's still jobs to do. So I'm discovering there's gaps up there, as you can see. So that needs to be siliconed. And down here is the same. I actually did that corner the other week. I want to give these windows a paint, but I'm thinking they probably need a little bit more of something before they're finished. We've taken the whiteboard and the blackboard down, so those are areas that will need to be painted. But we will get the floor done this weekend. So once the floor is done, we can bring in my desktop, we can bring in my shelving unit, and we can start to at least put some of my stuff away. Mr. Pet?
Being nice to your dog, because you say I don't be nice to him, and I was being nice.
That wasn't what I was getting at.
Oh, chopping wood.
Because you're really cute.
Tough too.
So here we are, we're cutting the last full laminate board. So what will become the studio is actually coming together very quickly. Isn't it?
It is. It is.
And then we can paint it. Alright, so as you can see, we got the floor mostly done. A couple of little bits. We've got to put a transition in there. There isn't one. We couldn't find what we needed, so we're actually making one out of the laminate. We've got to put the quads down yet, but it's mostly done. That cupboard is coming down today. I'll see if we can get that down as well. If we can get that down, that would be really great. And then we have a totally clean slate to work with. That is our best case scenario. As for the windows, that's a job that's going to happen in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll do all the internal window edging and the external window edging. I'll just need to go and find some wood. There's plenty of wood here, so we won't need to go and buy anything, I hope. And so we'll have this, will be all but weatherproof. The only thing that we don't have then is the door. We're actually going to get a builder to come in and do the door, because we also have on this little veranda, there's some rotted boards, and that's kind of a little bit beyond our abilities. So if we bring someone in to do that for us, and then we'll be able to set up a little table and chairs out here. We'll bring the two potted roses over there over here. We can hang some hanging plants, probably we might even bring some more herbs over here and hang them across here. So that way, when I'm making stuff, if I'm looking for herbs, I can just come and cut them and use them straight away. So every aspect of the shack, which will very soon be known as the studio, is about making this a workspace that we can use. We'll have shelving across this part. We want to put in a metal sink unit across here and a small modular metal prep space. We're going to put shelving all across here, down to about the halfway mark. And then this is where my craft work will happen. We've also got some small shelving units that will come in here to help us keep this organised and under control. So that might be where we put all of our empty canning bottles so that this then can be used effectively. But it'll be a matter of working out what we can fit as we go along. And I mean, at the end of the day, this was a converted kids' playhouse. And the idea is that it will find a third life where it has actually twice had people living in here. Charlotte stayed in here before she bought her place. Before that, there was a tenant living in here, I believe, with the previous owners. So now this will become a workspace. So what are you doing? Build a Nicola here?
Yeah, build a Nicola.
Okay.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
So what I've done now is I've actually measured the...
So good. We painted the roof last week. Yep.
I've measured in here, so I know what we need to buy. Mark will be showing off his cutting skills, and then we'll just hammer this into place. I need to go and have a look. There's a heap of moulding down in the carport, so I need to go and make sure if there's enough moulding for here, then we don't need to buy any, which is grand. We also need to measure up how much quad we need, and I've just suggested to Mark we'll buy the primed quad. There's not a lot of difference in terms of price, but what it means is we'll only need to do a single paint application on them. We still have a bit of work to go. We'll need to get some filler for in those corners. I don't think we've got any poly filler, but if we do that, then we can stop up those corners and then you won't have those holes there anymore. Getting there. Well, I'm at our favourite store again, Bunnings, buying more stuff. Hopefully this should finish the shack. Welcome to the carnage of the shack. Hey, gee, it's not as bad as it looks. We've been really busy here again. We've got all the painting stuff there. Oh, hang on, got to go up. Now, it's still not quite finished. We haven't really done anything on the exterior. That may happen at Christmas. That may not happen at Christmas.
Hello.
Okay, here's Mark. He's sweeping. He's in his painty shirt again. Yep. So, the window trim is on. Don't look too closely at the moment. There's a few jobs there to be finished. You'll see a bit more of that tomorrow. We've got all the quad down around the skirting. We got the floors are done. The walls are looking fabulous. They are such a great colour. We've got to do all the edging, all the picking out yet. That will happen, what, probably tomorrow? So. Yeah, tomorrow. We still don't have a door on here. The door is coming, but it's just going to probably be another week or two before we get it. Simply because there is actually other things that we need to be doing too. And look, there is my still painted light cover. Now that will be cleaned up, hopefully, tomorrow. I've got to bring some terps over and some cotton balls. But it's looking better. It looks 100%. After it dries, tomorrow the plan is to put my table in, to put my my shelving unit together. We'll bring my sewing machines. We'll bring the dress form. I've actually got a hanger, or I've got a rolling craft trolley that will come over. It'll be a little while still before we start setting up the produce section, simply because A, we haven't bought it, and B, it's another expense that we're just not ready for at the moment. What I would like to do tomorrow is bring the drill and hang my 3 seed boxes up here. And not sure if now's a good time or wait until we get the door on. Anyway, but that's it. Here's Mr. Pitt hard at work, as you can see, putting a second layer of paint on that skirting. I've got the first layer on here. We've got 2 layers on here. We haven't done any of this side yet. And we haven't done the tops, but the room is looking pretty fabulous. The window has been painted around, so that's pretty well done. I'm not doing any more on that. Just let it dry. I've actually got the blind ready to go up. So it's all coming together. Welcome inside, and look, I have a table and I have shelving. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring out my dress form and get it set up here. I've got my craft trolley, and they've got a ton of craft stuff to go in here. That little one there goes underneath there. Oops. And I have rolling seats as well. So I'm just going to start setting up all the electrical fittings. I put the sea salt water into it, so.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you heard in the background, Nicholas put sea salt water into the rose. It's a Gallipoli rose.
Gallipoli centenary.
Gallipoli centenary. So where'd you get him from?
Yamundi roses.
Yamundi roses. So he came bare rooted, didn't he? But he was already ready to go. So we've just got him in a pot very early this morning. Well, early, 8:30 on a Saturday. So see how he goes.
These are the faces of pure joy. Daisy and Bo have just been fed, and they're very happy, thank you very much. And of course they get fed right next to their water supply. So things are getting a bit dry around here. As you can see, there's not a lot of grass, which is part of the reason why we're feeding them like this at the moment. Under normal circumstances, you'd probably only be feeding them once a day, given that they're basically in a backyard. But yeah, right now things are getting a bit tougher, and I think it's going to be a dry summer. Hello.
Hello.
It's actually Monday afternoon, almost Monday evening, and it's been another big weekend. But we are, I'll put some photos up, but I'm actually in the shack, or now going to be called the studio. So that's all done. We've just been out and watered. Our naughty ball got out again.
Yeah.
So
Went for a walk.
We're running a bit later than we planned. Thankfully, he only goes next door, but still, it's a bit of a pain. We've spent the last 2 weeks working in here.
Pretty much, actually, yeah.
So,
Just some tidying up to do.
yep. The Gallipoli rose is here. It's been potted and it's in. And I honestly can't remember if I videoed that. I don't think I did, because I was trying to rush it. Like a lot of things at the moment, just trying to rush everything through to get everything done. Big week ahead for me. I've got uni stuff to settle into. What have you got?
Work. Just work.
Always work.
Always work.
All right, well, we're going to leave it at that. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully there'll be some gardening-y stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Bye.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.